I'm gonna be honest with you all. This video was supposed to start off with a very clear structure and format, but in the end, it is now just a rant about the newest patch. And honestly, it gets out a lot of my true opinions about the patch. So I'm just gonna leave it up this way. You guys get to hear my rant about the newest patch. And just note, not everything I say should be taken at face value. I am a little bit tilted because I get very into making videos, and when I start ranting, I start getting heated. So take what I say with a grain of salt, but these are basically my opinions on the newest patch. So with the most recent changes to Overwatch, the big patches, the big balance changes that occurred, I honestly thought we'd see something new, some fresh ideas, new team compositions, a new meta, and I was wrong. Unfortunately, so far, this doesn't seem like it's the case. And I know the meta is still changing and still shifting. However, not much has been seen so far. Let's take a look at what I'm talking about here. If we remember back to the patch before, the most current one we have right now that released Sombra, we saw a lot of tanks. We started off by seeing 3 tanks run in a lot of compositions. Ninjas in Pajamas took this and ran the 3-3 team composition where it had 3 tanks and 3 supports because they just thought tanks were so powerful, having 3 was necessary, and having 3 supports was necessary to keep them alive. We actually saw a very short period where they ran a 4-2 tank meta, where it was 4 tanks and 2 supports. Not Ninjas in Pajamas particularly, but it was run in the pro scene a few times. If not the pro scene, then like the semi-pro high-level scene, but it was considered because tanks were so powerful. In the end, both of these died out, and we have what we have now, which is the 3-2-1 team composition. 3 tanks, 2 supports, and 1 damage dealer. Now, this isn't the only viable composition, but I'm seeing it a lot now, and I saw it a lot before the patch, and it really makes me wonder, has this patch changed anything? I honestly thought with the changes to Soldier 76, the changes to Pharah, among a bunch of other heroes, we would see some changes, but it seems like we are in the exact same position we were before, only a few heroes have been swapped. The compositions are generally the same, except we have Soldier 76 in one of the DPS slots every single time. But let's not rant about it, let's have a discussion about it. Let's talk about this patch, what Blizzard kind of intended to do, and what they actually ended up doing. So let's talk about the changes to the Assault category. First of all, we obviously have the new Sombra in the game, and she has not been powerful enough to make any difference whatsoever. A lot of people speculated that she'd counter tanks. Well, nobody counters tanks when they're just too weak to actually even see play. She might see play in the future, and hopefully she does once people learn how to play her, but as of now, nobody has really figured out an effective way to make her viable. Now, the most important changes, though, to the Assault category were the Pharah changes and the Soldier 76 changes, both of which negatively impacted tanks. Soldier 76 rips tanks to shreds now. Reinhardt's shield is gone. Roadhog is gone. Winston, Diva, everyone is just gone because Soldier 76 does so much damage. And Pharah counters tanks directly as well. She can stay out of the range of any tank indefinitely. She can fly forever, just hammering away on tanks, and there is nothing they can do to stop her. Roadhog can try to hook her, but if she gets within Roadhog's hook range, she's not a good Pharah anyway. So what I'm saying is these 2 Assault heroes definitely counter tanks, and they're both buffed, so we should see less tanks, right? Well, let's further build on that point. Nano Boost no longer gives you a speed boost, meaning it's not going to be good on Reinhardt anymore, and it's going to be less good on tanks in general, with the exception of Winston potentially. The mobility nerf clearly kills Reinhardt because he can't chase people down and just hammer them to death anymore, and on top of that, his hammer used to actually kind of suck people towards you when you hit them, meaning you could always hit the second hammer. Now his hammer moves you away from him, so he doesn't have the speed boost, and he's knocking people away, right? So Nano Boost is no longer even a thing on Reinhardt. It shouldn't really be done. Diva and Winston are 2 cases you could potentially make for Nano Boost because they both have mobility. But you have to remember, Nano Boost without mobility, it's not just about the mobility. Both of them have very short range, so they need to use their mobility abilities to get close. And once they're close, any enemies that have movement abilities will escape, meaning they're not the best targets. I'd say Winston is decent, maybe still as good as he used to be, but Diva isn't a good target. Zarya probably isn't a good target unless plus she's very high charge, and it's just generally worse on tanks than it was before, because they don't have that movement speed boost. So there's another nerf to tanks. You know, right now it's really looking like Blizzard wanted to nerf tanks, because, to be honest, they kind of were taking over the meta. They were probably the most powerful heroes, that very high win rates, and a lot of people used them to climb, and it worked, meaning they were very powerful. But in the end, they didn't do that. Why did that happen? Why are tanks still very good? Well, with the Ana nerfs, you actually kind of removed a tank counter as well. Ana counters tanks very well. Her sleep dart can put down any tank because they're such a big target, and on top of that, she can cancel the healing on tanks that used to be crucial to keeping them alive. But now she's gone, and tanks have free reign over everything because they won't get slept, and Roadhog can always heal. So what I'm saying is, the one hero that countered tanks very well is also the one that synergized with them very well, which means Ana is a very poorly designed hero if we're going to think about it. No hero should have their own counter built into their kit. Ana's counter is another Ana. When you nano boost someone, another Ana has to sleep them to get maximum value. When you cancel out someone's healing, or when you boost someone's healing more accurately, the other Ana can deny that healing. Ana counters herself, meaning any changes to her won't change the meta heavily. So we're still seeing tanks. That's why we're still seeing tanks. The changes to Ana didn't do anything. And I'm not saying that tanks are necessarily a bad thing. I love the tanks in Overwatch. They're very fun. They're very good. And if I'm going to be honest, they might be a little overpowered, but that's not the point here. I didn't want less tanks because I don't like tanks. I wanted less tanks because I wanted something new in the meta. We've never seen, like I said in a different video, a 3 DPS composition. It's never happened once, and there are more DPS heroes in the game than any other type of hero. Now, we're not going to drone on about that because I made a whole video about that, but what I'm saying is this new meta doesn't actually seem to have accomplished anything. And furthermore, they threw it in right at the end of a season. Why, Blizzard? Why did you throw it in with only 1 week left in the season? Could you not wait 1 or 2 weeks till the end of the season? I guess I can't really complain about that. Blizzard has more knowledge than me there, but it does seem kind of weird to just, right at the end of a season, especially when seasons are so short, just throw in a new hero, throw in a bunch of changes that were supposed to radically change the meta, but didn't. I don't know. Let's talk about supports now too, because this is truly becoming a very, very ranty rant. Supports, right? You nerfed Lucio again. You've nerfed him so many times since he's been released, Blizzard. You've never buffed him once. It's definitely clear to me now that Lucio was made so stupidly overpowered in the beginning, and Mercy was so stupidly underpowered in the beginning. Oh my, why? And then you changed Mercy to make her just annoying. Just Mercy right now is just annoying. She can fly away from you and heal, and fly away from you again and heal, and that's all she does. And as someone who plays flankers a good amount of the time, it's not fun. Mercy all she does is heal. Every other support has a utility. Sure, Mercy, yeah, she's got her damage boost, but it's not really that great when you consider other supports can do damage, honestly, if you're thinking of it that way. Would you rather have a support that has a damage boost or a heal, or a support that can heal and do damage at the same time while providing some other utility? That's kind of what it's come down to. That's why, honestly, I don't think Mercy's good. And I still don't think she's good. She's just annoying now. Mercy can only heal or damage boost. Zenyatta can heal. He can basically put a damage boost on someone and also deal damage at the same time, and that's pretty good. Lucio can speed boost, do damage, AoE heal, knock people away from him to keep himself protected. That's cool. And then Ana has her sleep dart, which is insane utility, has her grenade, which is insane utility, and she can kill people. She does a lot of damage. It just seems like, this patch just seems to have not solved any problems whatsoever. It completely missed the point. Tanks still running rampant. Mercy, she's being seen more, but I still don't think she's very good. And yeah, I'll get disagreement for that, I'm sure. But I don't know. The ultimate change, I think, was also poor as well. Getting ultimates 25% slower is definitely a cool concept to consider, right? But you're going to throw that in while changing a bunch of other heroes. Actually, this whole patch, I think, should have been rolled out much slower, if we're going to be honest, and much more over time than it was now. When you throw in so many changes at once, Soldier 76 buffed, Pharah buffed, Diva buffed, Zarya changed, he was buffed and nerfed, as well as many other changes like the Nano Boost nerf, as well as changing a global variable, which is the ultimate charge rate. you're bound to see some changes. And Blizzard now, if something goes wrong, if the meta just spirals out of control, what does Blizzard do? They don't know what to change because they changed so many things. It's insane the amount of things they changed. They didn't leave it up in PTR to really test it for that long. Nobody got tested on. It was just, ooh, this patch makes me angry. I loved it at first. Honestly, on the surface, it seems like a patch just to please those who don't look deeper. And I love Blizzard. Honestly, I love Blizzard. I think they're doing a great job with Overwatch. And I don't think this was intentional. But from my perspective, it just seems like a patch that pleases people on the surface. They're like, oh, Soldier was buffed because he was weak. Yeah, Pharah was buffed because she was weak. D.Va was buffed because she was weak. Yeah, those are good changes. Ultimate charge rate decreased. Yeah, I like all that. But when you think about it, you break it down, the meta is the same. So you just have some blatantly overpowered heroes now, like Soldier 76 and Zarya and every tank in the game because they're crazy. And yeah, I just completely ranted for 15 minutes almost. We'll have to cut this down a little bit, but regardless, yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of this patch, if you couldn't tell already, and I'm bound to be wrong in like 90% of this video. So please enlighten me to how this patch is good, because I'd love to hear it. But as of right now, I'm not a huge fan, and it's not even because I'm doing bad or anything. I just don't think it was, it didn't do anything. I don't know. Maybe I'm just extra tilted because I got flamed every game today I tried to play Widowmaker. But, you know, in the end, I was thinking, yeah, maybe I shouldn't post this because I'm clearly tilted, but I also do believe a lot of these things. These are things I've just been thinking about a long time, and I've finally put them into words. So, tell me your thoughts and opinions and how much you disagree with this video, because, you know, I went over so many topics. There is, I don't think, a single person that will watch this video and agree with the whole thing. Everyone's going to have something to disagree on. I'm expecting a lot of downvotes, but, yeah, I don't know. I don't know, guys. I'll see you guys all later. Lone Hawk out.